Okay,
let's give it a shot.
here we go. Game's still in development.
So this is
what I wanted to see.
The shrine runes
Gameplay
as well.
Yes.
And you can see the hunter's
God.
already in the
This is the
locale.
most important part of
Here's
Monster.
the cam over here. Just so you know, they already accepted a 2-star quest to hunt down a Tetranodon before they came here. So they're just going straight to the action to show it off to you.
Okay. Palamute.
So you can see some kind of cool rock formations around you. He's showing you this beautiful river as well.
So,
and oh man,
if they're giving you the ability to climb
nature
and I guess swing up, there's so much
he's moving into the
verticality in
tent
this
now.
game it's never been in any other game.
And this is the item box
and they're
and
giving
the
you
buddy board.
a way to move
Here,
fastly over
he's
the
showing
ground
an option
too.
that lets you eat as well.
What it tells you immediately.
So yeah, the first option is the item box, the
that,
second one is the buddy board, and the third one is eat. The fourth one is just get out of here.
This
if you go to the top one, the
actual
box,
areas are huge.
You're
They're
able to
gigantic.
manage your equipment,
Which
and
is
change,
cool.
you know, what you're using.
And does mean that like some crazy stuff could happen with
So we're
monsters.
going to have
There's
14
probably going to be monsters that
weapons,
definitely take
from,
advantage
like,
of
that
the
you've seen
whole
in the series
climbing
before.
mechanic and that kind
So
of
I think
stuff.
people are
They'll
looking
have to
forward
adapt
to a lot
those
of
to
weapons that they've seen in the past.
all these movement options now, clearly.
But we'll be talking a lot more about
really
those
is
weapons
gonna,
later. So
I
stay
think,
tuned for more
makes
information.
make some changes to some classic monsters. When you guys start seeing some classic monsters in here, they're probably going to change them a bit because you've got so many more movement options.
It's like I have been getting the money.
Yeah, he's got a million, like, it said like 9999999.
So, you saw him just use this on the screen. That was the wire bug. So you can see kind of right below, on the center of the screen, below the feet of the player, there are these like 2 little icons that are slowly refilling. That is the wire bug icon. You can use 2 of them initially, and when you use one of them, you can see it kind of like becomes like
so this
temporarily
explains
unavailable.
why.
So you're able to use
This
2 of them
explains
quickly
why
in
you're
unison in a row.
why we
then
saw people
obviously you can
being
see
able
them
to go
recharging
all
as
over the
well.
place.
She was
But
very
it
excited
does
about
use
the
your
fact that you can
stamina.
top that tent.
I'm noticing that.
And he wants to add that, you know, you can use the wire bugs to get all over the place.
So you're probably
going
going to be able to unlock like
interesting
a ton of
moves. You
wire
can go
bugs, basically,
vertically, horizontally.
which is going to unlock like crazy movement.
Basically, you just use that aiming reticule that he popped up before.
And you can use
put it in the
the wire bugs as part of
the
like
direction you want to
your,
throw the wire bug, and then there it goes. It's really a
your attacks,
free
too.
system that gives you a lot of versatility.
Yo, everybody's literally
I bet,
like
you know, we could
Spider-Man
probably make it up
Ninja
here
in
too. Look,
this.
aha.
Though it's just the way that they move. There's
So,
oh my gosh,
You know, if you're
so much verticality. Jeez, dude.
if you're on the edge, you know, you can use them to do like little jumps to get
I
up
always
the,
did wonder
over
when they eventually would hit
places
this
that are
point.
in the way, and you'll get over
in the game.
obstacles. So it's really helpful to have. So you can kind of use the wire bugs to search around the environment and find hidden gathering points and discover
It does
really
make
interesting
sense,
kind of
right?
cute
If they
little
wanted
things
to
that
make
we've,
the,
you know, included in
if
the
they wanted to
game. It's
add
a
a
really
lot of
great way
verticality,
to
and they
kind of
wanted to
explore
make
the world of Monster Hunter Rise.
the areas bigger, and they wanted to
And,
take just
they're
know,
really tall,
obviously
and
the
you're like, is it
last
okay to
in
jump
world they
down?
took out
And
the like loading between areas,
obviously
but
it is.
like
So
I feel like this is the true.
it looks like you can use the wire bug as your,
truly where they
as you're
wanted to
falling
go
down
from
to,
there with this.
you know,
because
make it look cooler. But he says actually, if you fall and you hit the ground, you still won't take damage. So the wire bug is just entirely if you want to be classy.
Are those
So,
3 monsters
We're
on
talking about
the
the wire bug on the bottom, but next you can see to the right of
3
that,
monsters
there
on
is
the
this
map
little
there?
icon mentioned. We are calling this the action slider. And using that, you can issue orders to your palamute or do other sorts of things.
So you're not using any stamina. That's
So,
good.
you know, like right now he used it to jump onto the back of
Yo,
the palamute.
what the heck? He can jump too?
And while you're on the back, like you can do dashes and jumps.
Yo.
And the palamute's actually got a little bit of a nice addition. So you
Oh,
can see he kind of
dang.
grabbed on the edge of that hut and jumped on the top.
You can literally like run in on the
So,
palamute, jump with the
basically,
palamute,
it's
jump
really
off
helpful
the
to have
palamute,
the,
then use
around
wire
to
bugs.
access all these areas and
They're
move
just
about
the
quickly.
movement options are insane.
Sorry, I'm gonna get off him very quickly.
And not only that, but
So you
you've
can
got
also
like your
use
full
the
stamina.
that action bar to do some communication with your buddies. Like this one, like sit, or like.
Oh my
shake
god!
hands.
What the heck? And you can pet him!
Good
You
dog.
can pet the palamute!
You can also do it with the
Game of the
palicos
year.
as well. Oh, look how adorable
Oh,
he
you
is.
can play with the palicos too.
I mean, this has nothing to do with actual gameplay elements. It's just, fun. It's just pure
These animations, man.
delight.
These little animations that they're putting
High
in
five,
here.
cat. High five.
Just perfect.
So yeah, the action that lets you use kind of
Chef's
all sorts of
kiss.
things. As you saw, there were actions to do with your
Mm.
animals, with your pet,
Yes.
your buddies, and you could also do things
All
to
right,
summon
Capcom,
the
I
palamute
see you.
to ride it.
I see you. I honestly see you. I kind of wonder.
So, you saw me just kind of do this quick, nice slide down the mountain, and
Because
we're
I
in this
don't have
new
as many
area
people
now.
to play Monster with on the PS4,
So this is the main
right?
field
And that's
of
where I
the
initially
area.
got World. So even though that game's fantastic, there was times where
So
I
I
just having
talked a little bit
trouble
about this. You can
finding people to
join
play
on
with.
the. You can summon kind of
Got
the
so
palamute
many
to jump
friends
on
that
it
have
using
a
the action
Switch
slider, But if
that
you're near the palamute, you can
now
also
that this
just
has been
hold
announced,
A to,
they're very
like, just hop
interested
onto his back
because
real quick as a sort of shortcut.
this is way
He's also
different
showing you that you can use,
than what
you can
Monster
set
Hunter really is.
shortcuts,
Even though they're
to kind of make
they're
it
tying
easier
in
to
some
use
classic
the
stuff
commands that you
and
want
taking
to
some
use
stuff from
very
World.
often.
This
You
is
can
like
see
a
setting
whole
it
other
right
level.
now.
Just I feel like
I've
you're
set
gonna
things
get a
to,
lot
like,
of people
use
interested
healing
who
items and
were
whatnot.
not interested in Monster Hunter before with
Sharpen
this.
weapons and etc. etc.
And I kept wondering, like, I
So,
really would like to have a game on the
the,
Switch that
while
wasn't
you're on
just a
the
port,
Palamute,
because
you're not just moving. You're able to do other things and get all sorts of actions done.
I
prepare for
typically
battle
could
and
get
whatnot.
probably a lot more
So,
time in on
next
it. It's
up
such a
is-
grindy game.
You can see this
They
little
all are.
green thing, right? It's kind of like
Yeah.
a little
So,
ball.
oh,
That
here,
is
there-
called
here,
a
here the big
endemic
boy
life.
comes, man. He's over there.
So you can collect these to do things like get little buffs like heal or get stamina back
Oh, he's running right past.
or gain other sorts of benefits.
So you
It's only these quests, these buffs are temporary. They're only active for the
you
quest
can
that
get
you're
buffs
on.
from the ecology. Like
So we just
around.
kind of
That's
triggered the
interesting.
bad guy. We pulled him. So we're going to run over here so we can do some other stuff first before we go into the fight. So normally you see there's
So
no
now that
symbols
you've
for the wire
spotted
bug on the
him,
bottom.
he's
Before
got
we
his
had only
icon
two.
on the-
So what this is during
map.
quests you can find
It's interesting
wire
that
bugs in
they're
the
already
wild,
marked. Like
wire bugs in
everybody's
the
already
wild,
marked
that was
where they
weird,
are.
to actually increase the max amount of wire bug usage you have in that quest by up to 3. And that kind of will help you get a little bit
If
more
you're gonna give people
mobility
like
and move
really
around a
big
little bit more.
areas to explore and stuff, then
He also
like it
mentioned
makes
using it
sense.
with the
to-
palamute, but sorry, I think I missed that little bit. I think he's just talking about climbing the vines that you saw before. So all the
Does the
buff items
palamute
that
just
you
chill?
are used to from the Monster Hunter
Just
series, of course, will remain in the series.
whenever
This is an
you're on
entirely
quests
new
and stuff?
element that they have added to the game. So like you can kind of like search around the map and discover like your best routes to monsters and figure out the best way to play it. There's some that you don't have to do any of these to win. These are all kind of optional things if you want to go out of your way to find the extra buffs.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of gives you a lot more ways to approach the game.
Yeah.
So over here you can see this kind of grass thing that he's messing around with it. So you can see over here he just
Okay,
like
there
found
it did just
a
pop up.
great wire bug in there, and you
Wait.
can use those ones
Yo,
that you found
what
to make
the
these super
heck?
huge jumps, like the one that you just saw. You saw he just leaped up a tremendous distance.
I guess this makes a lot of sense with how vertical this game is. Like, it
searching
just
through the locales, you can find really cool items like this and endemic lives and wire bugs that will let you maneuver and gain more buffs. It's a really interesting thing that adds rewards to the exploration aspect of the game. So I'm going to grab this little endemic life right here. He's going to jump around.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I feel like there's a lot of people that have been waiting
of the
for
areas that you fight the monsters, like the one
this
that you just
kind
saw,
of
there's also these
update
kind of
to
like little
Monster Hunter.
side
It does really
areas
feel like,
that are
obviously, World
basically,
gave
you
us
won't
the
find any large
graphical
monsters wandering in here, but there's tons
update,
of endemic
the
life
not
for you to
loading
go
between
around and
zones
look
update,
at.
kind of.
There's some like
The clashes
destructible
between
environmental
monsters, that kind of stuff.
bits
But they're
that
like
you can go
taking
and find
all of
hidden
that,
monster,
and then
or
they're
hidden,
adding
hidden
this
endemic life,
movement
them, gain some buffs.
that really is going to give a lot more combo potential and dynamic.
Of course, like all these buffs really help you defeat monsters, but they're not necessary if you're really
and
good
it
at
did
these
feel
games
like,
and
when
you're
were we
experienced
going to
veteran
kind
of
of
the
get to
Monster
that point
series,
where
you'd probably go straight into fighting the monsters if
the
you
areas that
want to.
you're
All this
fighting
stuff
the
is,
monsters
once again,
in
just
are
an extra bit.
more of a kind of an open space.
So the endemic life definitely
And you're
do all
not,
sorts
you're
of
no
things,
longer
like there's buffs.
locked
There's
between
also some of them
zones.
that can be used like
you
items. And
you
other
kind of
things.
see
We'll
an
be
area
giving
and
more
you can go
information
to it.
about these on a later
You can
date,
take shortcuts to get to
but,
monsters
right
and
now,
stuff. It's
I
not.
think that's all we're gonna say about that.
It really
So
does
you can
make
see
it
him-
feel way more modern.
They were talking about, can we
with
climb up here?
how
And then he's
video
like,
games
yeah,
are now.
check this out.
It's good.
So you can use the
It's
wire
good.
button
It
up
really
here if
is
you want
going to
or
attract
you
a
can
lot more
use the
players.
palamute.
I think there is no question about that.
There's lots of ways to maneuver around the environment and explore. So, find a way that suits you, find a way that
It's
you
exciting.
like, and play the sort of game you want to play.
I just want more people to play Monster Hunter. Clearly they did a good job with that with World too. Like I
So
will
once you get used to it,
give them a lot of props.
it
Like
starts feeling really
World's
nice.
one of their
just
best-selling
bounce
games
around.
ever. And it's because I
Move
feel like
around. So, it kinda
giving
changed
Monster
the way
Hunter a
the
more
game
modern
plays.
update
So,
look-wise,
getting used to this
and
new
adding a lot
element
of
in the
quality
game,
of
this
life
new,
stuff.
dynamic mechanic.
It
is the word I'm
showed
looking
that,
for.
like, yeah,
Really
Monster
kind
Hunter
of changed the
can have a
gameplay.
lot
You can
more
play around with
mainstream
different play
appeal.
styles and have fun. So now they're
and
going to go
especially
and look
outside
for
of
the,
Japan, because
Tetranychus
Japan
and
is
show you
where
some straight
they
up battle,
always
which I'm sure you're all looking forward
do
to.
so well and where it's so popular and everything. But really, you did see like
that kind
a
of
much
floating around him.
bigger
I think that's
expansion to the amount of people who are
Another bit of
giving
endemic
Monster
So
Hunter a
there's no
try,
paintball,
right?
paintball,
And it
this.
would have been a backstep to completely go backwards
But you can see
from
on
there
the bottom left, there's that
and
sort of
take
map,
away a
and
lot
that
of the
will
stuff
generally
they
show you where
learned.
monsters
It's a good
are.
idea.
And
It's
if
like
you
when
know what the monster is, it will
developers
show up as
develop a
little
game, they
symbol,
learn
but,
stuff from it.
the question marks are monsters that you haven't kind of
I think a good
encountered
example,
yet, so you don't know
like,
they are.
and the reason why there are so many people hopeful for like Breath of the Wild 2 is because, look,
There's also like this special
they took
item
their
that kind
time,
of
they
looks like a little
built the
owl that you
engine,
can send off into the
they
distance
learned
that
how
will
to
search out
operate
and
it as
scout
an
out
open world
the locations
and all this
types
stuff.
of monsters and so on.
And a lot of people felt like, oh, well, in the dungeons department, maybe in the story department, that game was a little bit, like, maybe it was lacking compared to some Zeldas, but, dude, they're gonna go ham on
now
that
we're
part
showing
of
off
the
the
game in the
Tetradon,
second
and
part.
This is an
They
amphibious,
learned so much
hefty
from
chunk,
it
as I think I said yesterday.
It's you could say this with a bunch of different games and like what
He's
they
really
learned
already,
from
but
giving them modern
while he's
updates.
fighting, you can see him now. He's actually
And I
pretty
think-
big up. Once he eats something, he
Again,
gets,
I don't see anything in
extra
this
full. He gets just practically
that is
pudgy.
going to like
And,
make classic players say
what
like,
happens
oh
in
no.
Atlas, he gets
What
heavier
I
and
see is I
his
see like
attacks become stronger. It also
the-
changes his
especially
attack
the stuff
patterns
with the
a
wire
little bit.
bugs.
So he moves slower because of this. So it's a nice kind of
feels
like
kind of
different way of
similar
fighting the monsters.
to what they were
So now I'm
doing
going to
with
show you
like
a little bit more
Generations
about the dual
Ultimate
blades.
with
Wow,
the
look at
different
that, look at that
styles and
stop.
stuff. It gives you more like
So he's just hitting it normally now.
combinations on how to attack a monster. And the movement options are just, like I said, the movement options are what will
So,
open up
right now he's
combos.
used the wire bugs,
basically,
but
like
you're able to use the wire bug.
you
in
basically will be
coordination with your
comboing
attack, like as you're seeing he's doing right here
monsters
with the dual blades to
like crazy
do some
because you're going to be just
extra
on
attacks.
top of them all the time now.
And every weapon has
Someone's
a
trying to
number
get
of
away,
different
you're
patterns and
literally
things you can
chasing that
do,
thing down
collaboration
immediately.
attacks, that you can coordinated attacks you can make with a wire
great.
bug. And a
I'm
lot of them
excited. I'm excited about it.
really sort of go well with the sorts of weapons you're using.
Everybody
so,
got
this
stunned.
one lets you increase your mobility and do extra damage at very specific points.
The palico and the palamute were both stunned.
So I'm going to show you one right now. It looks like he's going to throw the wire bug forward.
Oh, whoa, what the heck?
So you throw
you
the
got some
wire bug
shinies.
forward, and if the monster makes an attack into it, it gives you a chance to make a counter attack against it. So there are really cool ways to use the wire bug in sort of a supportive role
watch
for
out.
your main weapon. And
Oh, wait,
I think
what the
I
heck?
just showed you right there. It was a little bit close, so it was kind of hard to see. But right
Wait.
as the monster attacked him, he threw out the wire bug, which is going to make that really cool counter attack.
Oh, so it literally there's wire bug counters. That's great. You're gonna give everybody counters?
So, depending on the power of the wire bug coordinated attack that you make, you might use one or maybe two of these.
It does kind of make me
icons
wonder,
on the
like,
bottom.
does each wire bug
You can use you can use them
each
for
weapon
this one.
get-
There's
does
ways to use
each
this
weapon
to
get a
make
wire bug
attacks.
counter?
There's ways to use it as an innovation. We hope everybody kind of experiments and tries to find out
there's, like,
ways
an
to use these
invasive
various
one, there's, like, a
abilities
more
to
offensive
support
one.
their own particular game styles. So you can see this palamute over here. He's fighting. So one thing people are probably worried about is that the palamute does have HP. He can get hurt, but he will never die. So even if you get
It's like
really,
the,
even if it gets really hurt bad, he'll kind of
it's like the
run off and
palico.
not be available for a bit, healing up, eating doggy
It's the
treats or
same thing
something.
with the palico, basically. They disappear to go, like, revive.
So I think we still have time. He's thinking about ending the gameplay here, but we have a little bit more time, so he's going to maybe do it a little bit more. They're kind of discussing what do we want to do now. I'm sure a lot of people want to see this whole fight out and see everything,
Okay, he's back on it.
but it looks like they're going to.
No?
Okay, so we got a little bit more time. So you see these question marks, so he's going to run over and encounter them. He actually doesn't know what they are.
Okay, hey. There's our
man.
honey-loving
Man,
bear.
look at this.
Dude, what was it that I saw? Was it
So
the
yeah, we have this guy who just ran over here. Oh my god.
was it the long sword for this thing? Azeroth that looked awesome.
So I think they
I
said the
was,
name
like,
of it. I'm
literally
sorry,
like,
I don't
oh my
recognize
God,
the name
yes.
of that monster in
That's the one
English.
thing that's
But he's adorable.
it
Also
is like one of the like small little complaints about World is that like some of the weapons
there's also,
didn't
it
necessarily
sounds
look
like he
as
is a
cool
monster
as
from
some of the older
previous
Monster
series.
Hunter games.
So we have quite a few of them in this game.
There were
as
some that
well.
looked really cool, but
so this is, I
there were a
guess,
few that I was just kind of
surprise
like,
reveal
oh, they
of
could
this
have
little,
felt like they could have done more with that, especially considering like the models are so
monster
good in
right
that
here.
game.
Dojo.
So
That sounds like the Japanese is dojo. I might have missed that. Sorry, I'm
it
sure
was a bit
everybody's
weird that
watching
like you
this
look at
is
some
more
weapons
familiar with
and
this monster than I am,
generations
so-
that look better than the ones in World.
So yeah, one interesting thing that we like to talk about is in this game, kind of different from the other previous
But this is
monsters,
an old
is the
monster.
player character talks
if
a lot more than it
you're
used
new
to.
It's Monster Hunter.
Shout and yell and talk and so on.
Pretty like a pretty
But there is an
early monster
option in the menu that allows you to kind of
in the
adjust
games.
this. So if you think like, you don't want to hear your hunter talk, you want him to just be quiet and stab things, you're able to change that and make it more just about, the quiet, solitary hunter sort of thing. So yeah, it's customizable. You can adjust the rate of character speech.
Sort of like a tutorial monster.
So they're kind of reiterating that, and they're talking about, like if you really want to listen to the character as the character, or if you really want to focus on the action, you can kind of mix around with that.
Alright, I wonder if they're gonna let us see the
So yeah, we hope everybody's looking forward
The
to
other
trying out all
monster
these
on
new
here.
different abilities
one
and
that's
seeing
got like the
monsters and
sight too.
everything. So it sounds like we have some more time. So more time than we initially thought we had. So we're gonna go. So we're gonna go on a little bit more of a, like a walkabout. I guess we have some leftover time, so we're gonna go on a walkabout and
Call the
explore a little bit
palamute.
more.
Call the palamute.
So I think they're gonna try to. You see that?
What I am curious about.
So yeah, this is the first, actual
I
gameplay
don't know
footage
if
of
we're
this.
gonna
So
get to see it. Like,
let's go extra far. Let's go the
If you
extra mile
just-
and show. Literally, let's go the extra mile and show some more stuff.
if you book it out of there and start climbing, Alright, are some of these monsters going to be able to like adapt and climb? Like,
So
obviously,
so this is also something that
eventually there's going to be a
doesn't
lot
know
of
what's going to
monsters
be
that can
waiting
do
for
that, but I'm
destruction.
wondering if early on, if some of the monsters can't do that stuff.
So yeah, like that kind of like triple wire bug
I'm
thing
very,
you did there.
very curious
she
about
can,
that
she,
point, because we're allowed to go in all these places
commented how
now,
like
but are the
really
monsters
nice that felt to
themselves,
see and,
right?
and he's like, yeah, this is
It's
that
funny 'cause
mobility, the kind of
There's
right,
literally places
the
where the
ability to run
monsters
around
will
and
go
be
between
mobile and
areas
explore
in
the
some of the
game.
other
It's a
games
really fun
that
part.
you yourself couldn't go,
So
which was
they're just
interesting.
gonna keep exploring.
Even though there's
wow,
like
I couldn't find that
clearly
cliff, and
points in all Monster Hunter games where like monsters really have never been
you
able
can
to
use
go
the
before.
wire bug to kind of check out where you want
Like
to go like
camps
that
and
as
stuff.
well.
That would be insane.
So you can
if,
also,
like,
for the
monsters
most
start
part,
breaking into the camps. That would be.
we showed him
that'd be wild.
climbing the wall just straight, but you can go sideways and a little bit more,
Yeah, I mean,
all sorts of
just-
directions. It's a we wanted to make it a really easy, like controls that are simple and easy to understand, but also gives you this really cool, strong feeling of, you know,
I guess that would be one way to
traversing
make
this
monsters a little
environment
more
and
terrifying,
exploring all
right?
these
Is
interesting
if they
places.
were just,
Let's
if like
run
there
over
were
here.
hyper aggressive ones that like literally,
He's like, let's go over there. He's like, is there something over there? I have
as
no
soon
idea.
as you like go a little bit further, they're like chasing you down.
So they don't really know where to go. They're just kind of wandering. Like, yeah, wander over here. Let's see what we can say.
Yo, look at
Oh,
that
here,
thing,
look at
man.
this little guy.
モコモコして可愛いですよね。
She's
Yo,
commenting,
what
she's
the
commenting on how
frick
cute
is that? A
it is. And he's
tanuki?
saying
Like
this
a
is kind of
fat,
like a
fat
tanuki, like a raccoon
tanuki?
dog.
あ、そんな近づくの
And it's kind of like a little mascot character of this.
Yo,
気づいてないんですかこれ。
I guess he doesn't
what?
realize you're
That
there.
thing
or
is
maybe he doesn't
scary.
care. Yeah, he's a friendly little guy. He doesn't really care.
来るなんて知らんかったっていう
Yo, what?
He just kind of look like, oh,
thing
you're doing
looked
here. I'm just gonna
weird.
do what I want.
これぐらいにしましょうか。
All right, I think we're gonna end it there.
今日の実機のプレイは、これぐらいにしておきます。
So that is going to be it for today's gameplay.
Oh man, that was.
So we actually showed you longer than we
I
thought.
really wanted
But
to
thank you for the
see.
gameplay, and
はい。お楽しみいただけたら幸いです。
we hope everybody's looking forward to this, or hope everybody had a good time.
Is there gonna be more? of This
So,
like tomorrow?
Now that we know more about the game itself, can you tell us more about what we should expect
はい
at launch?
じゃあ商品概要の、おさらいさせていただき
So
ます。
first, I'll go over kind of everything. First off, Monster Hunter Rise will be released worldwide on March 26th, 2021. We will have
Still
both
wondering
a
about March
physical
next
version
year. I
and
feel like there
a
might
digital
be
version, so you can pick
Something
whichever one
happening
that you
next
like.
March that would be pretty big, but
こ
that's gonna make me wonder
Phil,
with
there
like
will also be a Monster Hunter Rise
with the quarantine
deluxe
stuff,
edition
like,
that has layered armored
if,
pieces, layered armor pieces for your palico and palamute.
if Nintendo's like plans maybe for next year are a little bit different.
You can see kind of some of the information
I mean,
here,
obviously
but
they
all
are,
of this
but I wonder
information will
like
also be on our
if they
official
were
website.
thinking of launching hardware, which everything seems to indicate that they
Wow,
are.
that sounds really fun.
If maybe
So
they were
one thing I
planning
want to
for
ask,
like
does
March,
Monster Hunter Rise have any
because that
nice
worked out well
bonus
for them
items?
before.
So yeah, supply
Yeah,
will be
maybe it's
limited
different.
for all of the
Maybe
versions,
they'll
but all
aim for,
versions
like, a
will
holiday
include
or
a
something,
special layered armor
One
for
thing
your
interesting to
palamute
note is that
and your
initially
palico.
with the initial Switch, Capcom
So you can
was one of
see
the ones
the
who wanted them
palamute
to
has
have
the
more RAM.
retriever costume layered armor,
I think
and
was
the
the reason
palico
they
has
ended
the
up having the
forest
RAM
cat
that it
costume
had specifically
layered
for the
armor.
RE engine, which is what this is
They're
running.
super cute, right? She's commenting.
Yeah, if
I
there was a
also heard
Switch
that there will
Pro,
be amiibos as well.
I feel like
So
Monster
yeah,
Hunter would
we
be
were
a nice
going to
game
have
to
3
showcase.
Monster Hunter Rise
we've
amiibos
heard
released on
that-
the same day as the
I've heard that
game.
people that are developing for
A
the Switch have been
Magnamalo, a
told
palamute, and a palico.
to leave a lot
So
of
these will be, yeah,
frame
available on the
rates
same day
unlocked
as
on
the
games
game.
that they're making.
Of course,
So
these
that
tie
there
into the
can
game
be a
itself,
more
and you can use them
significant
to
boost,
unlock things in the game,
with new
special
hardware.
layered armors.
Something to
So we
watch
hope
out.
everybody's excited to grab them and check it out.
I don't know if like if,
So
if,
there will
let's say that
also
they were
be
gonna launch it in
some
March
other
still,
stuff, some crossover content with Monster Hunter Stories 2, which was
would
also
they-
announced simultaneously with Monster Hunter
would they
Rise. We hope
announce it in,
everybody's
like,
looking forward to more
December?
info on
Do they think
that.
that would eat into regular Switch sales for the holidays?
Right now,
Animal Crossing hasn't had a
pre-orders
holiday
for
yet,
the
and that
digital
game
version and the physical
is already
version
the best-selling
have already
game,
gone
so
live.
ということで
it's gonna
ご紹介した
sell a lot
情報随時
by
公式
itself.
サイトにもアップさ
So everything we talked about today will be put up on the official website as well, so don't forget to give it a look.
Because you gotta think that, like,
All right, I think that about wraps things
Bayonetta
up.
3's next
Now,
year.
Monster Hunter Rise comes out on
Breath
March
2.
26th, 2021. That is March 26th, 2021. Do
And,
you have any final words for our viewers about the games?
Probably what? Maybe Bravely Default 2 if it doesn't come out this year. And
I got a bit ahead of mine now. Now they're talking about
Shin
final
Megami
words.
Tensei 5 and
So,
I don't
to
probably
everyone
not
who
Metroid
tuned in to watch our
Prime,
presentation on
that's
Monster Hunter
probably,
Rise here for Capcom TGS Live
maybe a
2020,
new Mario.
we hope that you liked the
And,
world's first view of
But
the
notice
gameplay
that
that
I'm
we showed
saying,
today.
and No More Heroes. Notice I'm saying a lot of third-party
course,
games, right? Because Nintendo
We
does a
showed a
good
lot
job
more
of
things that
adapting their
more things that we intended to.
their games.
So we hope that you
for
enjoy that, and but you're still
Switch.
looking forward to finding out all sorts of
Some
new
other
information that we
third-party
do
companies, it's a
have
little bit more
available
difficult,
for you
so
in the
it's
future.
something to really
So-
think about whenever you're thinking.
Yeah, we hope
about,
you had a good
like,
time,
oh, like,
and
they had all these
thank
third-party
you
games
for
coming next
watching
year.
today.
The Switch Pro could maybe showcase like
next,
upgraded
Sujimoto, do you have
visuals.
words for us?
Probably for sure.
So we will
Lock
keep
60
bringing
frames
you
per
the latest
second on
info on
something
Monster
like
Hunter
that.
Rise in the future, and
That's
there will be a
the-
lot more to
that
talk
to
about
me is
before
more almost
March
more important
2020.
than higher frames.
There's still so
Solid
much more to talk
frames
about.
are-
So if you want
are
any more
more
information,
important
please make sure to
than
follow the
super
official
high fidelity
SNS accounts.
visuals.
You can see some of them appear, like Line and Twitter.
As someone who doesn't
There will be
even
more
like,
information on Monster Hunter Rise.
I have like a 4K
as
TV,
we
but someone doesn't have
move
like
on
a
to the
4K
future, so keep a
monitor
look
yet.
out on it. So
I'm not as
thank you, Mr.
concerned with-
Ichinose. That's all we have for today.
I love his sweatshirt.
That's all we have from. Sorry, that's all from Mr.
Palico,
Ichinose.
sure.
Thank you very much for joining. We still have more to talk about. We're going to be talking about We're going to be talking about Monster Hunter Stories
Oh, Monster
2,
Hunter Stories
Wings
2
of Ruin
next.
with Mr. Sujimoto.
All right, let's check it out.